I never thought one Thanksgiving would change everything. But as I pulled into my mother's driveway, I knew it wasn't just the holiday meal. My sister kept secrets I hadn't planned on confronting, and one of them was about to shatter the life I'd built. The car hummed along the winding road, and I sat in the passenger seat, fiddling with the zipper on my jacket, a nervous habit I'd picked up in my childhood. My husband, Jason, was driving, his face calm and focused, as if this was just another Sunday drive. Meanwhile, our kids, Jamie and Lila, were happily tucked in the back seat, with the comic book spread open across their knees. To the kids, this is just a fun car ride to Grandma's. But for me? Jason raised an eyebrow, shooting me a playful grin. Come on, Jules. Family reunion. What could go wrong? I almost laughed. What could go wrong? Clearly, he'd never met my sister, Carol, under the wrong circumstances. And today had all the makings of one of those circumstances. Kids were blissfully unaware, with Jamie lost in his comic book and Lila singing an off-key version of some pop song. I sighed, more to myself. You know, you're lucky, Jason. You don't have sisters. He snorted. Lucky? I'd say you're lucky. You've got a built-in best friend. I rolled my eyes so hard they almost got stuck. Jason laughed, patting my knee. All right. But this isn't for Carol, right? It's for your mom. I softened, thinking of Mom's call. Her voice had been so shaky, each word like a tiny plea. Julia, please come. I don't have much time left. Just once. I want to see my girls together. Yeah, it's for Mom, I said quietly. Well, if your sister starts, you've got me. I'll throw myself in front of her insults. Take a few for the team. I chuckled, shaking my head. Just wait. You'll be begging for mercy within 5 minutes. Carol's a master at making anyone feel about 2 inches tall. Jason looked at me, feigning a look of sheer terror. Oh no. I'm doomed. I couldn't help but laugh, and the tension in my chest eased a bit. I could almost pretend that it was just another road trip. But then we rounded the corner, and there it was. Mom's house was standing exactly as it always had, but now it felt like a stage set for a drama I didn't ask to star in. Here we go, I murmured. Jason looked at me. Ready? Absolutely not. As we stepped through the door, I barely had time to take in the familiar surroundings before I saw them. Carol and Mark, my ex-husband. The man I'd once thought I'd spend my life with was standing with my sister, his arm casually draped around her shoulders. Well, look who decided to show up. Carol's smile was a little too bright, her tone just a touch too sweet. Carol. I forced a polite nod, trying not to look directly at Mark. I could feel Jason's curious glance from beside me, probably trying to piece together what he was seeing. Carol turned, practically leaning into Mark as if they were starring in some happy couple commercial. We're so glad you came, sis, she said, dripping with sarcasm. Mark and I were just talking about how long it's been since we've all been together. Jason's eyebrows shot up, and he leaned toward me, his voice a barely there whisper. That's your ex? Yes, I whispered back, fighting the tightness in my throat. And now he's with her. Jason gave a low, impressed whistle, muttering under his breath. Wow, didn't see that coming. Oh, it's really something, I replied, matching my sister's sarcasm. Dinner was torture. Carol couldn't resist slipping in passive-aggressive comments. So, Julia, I see you're still into those practical outfits, she said, eyes trailing over my sweater and jeans. I was determined to keep the peace. Comfort over fashion, I guess. Carol let out a light laugh. Oh, of course. Not everyone cares about keeping up appearances. Jason gave my hand a quick squeeze under the table, a silent reminder to let it go. But Carol wasn't done. So, how's life in the suburbs? Must be predictable. Not much excitement, I imagine. I clenched my fork a little tighter. Actually, it's nice. Kids have space to run around. And we're part of a great community. Mom jumped in, obviously sensing the tension. Having you all together here, it means so much to me. I wish we could all let go of the past. Thanksgiving is about being thankful. And I would love it if we could all try. Just for tonight. I looked down, struggling to keep my composure. For Mom, I reminded myself. But then I glanced up and caught Carol's smug expression. And something inside me snapped. Thankful? You want me to be thankful? Mom. I could feel my voice shaking. Thankful for what? My sister. Who stole my husband. The room went silent. And I felt Jason's hand tense around mine. Thank God the kids were playing outside. Carol rolled her eyes. Completely unfazed. Oh, please. Julia. You moved on fast enough. Didn't you? Found yourself a new husband and got pregnant just like that. She snapped her fingers. The sound echoing in the tense air. Mom looked stricken. Her face pale as she reached for her water glass. Her hands trembling slightly. At that moment, I couldn't decide if I felt more hurt or embarrassed. But I knew one thing. That Thanksgiving was far from over. Jason pulled me aside. Julia. Why didn't you tell me any of this? I knew things were tense with Carol. But he trailed off, running a hand through his hair, looking genuinely shaken. I clenched my hands, avoiding his gaze. I didn't want to drag you into it. I thought, maybe if I didn't talk about it, it wouldn't hurt as much. He sighed, pulling me closer. Well, now I get why we hardly ever come here. Your sister is something else. I managed a bitter smile, glancing toward the dining room where Carol and Mark were still chatting like the picture-perfect couple. Yeah, she's something. Jason followed my gaze, his brow furrowing. You know, I didn't notice it before. But Jamie, he looks a lot like. Jason. Stop. I hissed, my heart skipping a beat. But it was too late. Carol's voice cut through the room like a knife. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I hear my name? She walked over, her face full of fake sweetness. But her eyes were hungry for drama. Come on. Jason. You were just saying something about Jamie, weren't you? Jason shifted uncomfortably, his hand dropping from my shoulder. It was nothing. Just a silly observation. Oh, don't be shy. I'd love to hear it. Really? I mean, if it's about family. We're all family here. Right. She looked directly at me, and I felt the ground slipping beneath me. The words hung in the air, freezing everything. I could feel my face burning and my hands shaking. Oh, Julia. Really? Carol sneered. And here I thought you'd moved on so gracefully. Turns out you're still clinging to my husband. That's not what this is about. Carol. I snapped, my voice shaking. And you know it. I think it's exactly what this is about. Poor Julia. Always playing the victim. Yet somehow manages to keep her claws in my life. It's pathetic. Really. The anger and embarrassment choked me. Mom appeared in the doorway, her face pale, her hands trembling slightly. Please, girls. That's enough. This is Thanksgiving. We're supposed to put the past behind us. But Carol just scoffed. I could feel the sting of tears. But I refused to let her see me break. Carol. For once in your life. Can you just stop? You've turned it into some twisted performance. Oh. I'm the one turning things into a performance? Carol's laugh was scornful. That's rich. Coming from the girl who's always playing the martyr. Jason stepped in, his voice tense. All right. That's enough. Both of you. This is getting out of hand. Carol's face hardened, and she pointed a finger at him. Stay out of this. Jason. You don't know what she's really like. You've only seen the side she lets you see. That's enough. Mom's voice cracked, and we all turned. She was clutching the doorframe, visibly swaying. I can't. I wanted this to be. she stumbled. And in an instant, Jason and I rushed forward to steady her. All the anger drained from me as I looked at Mom, frail and shaken. For the first time, I saw the toll this was taking on her. Mom sat down slowly, her face tired but resolute. She looked at the kids, who were still wide-eyed after the argument. "Why don't you two go watch some cartoons?" she said gently, managing a small smile. Jamie and Lila nodded, shuffling out. As soon as they were gone, Mom took a deep breath, folding her hands. "Mom, are you all right?" I asked, guilt settling heavily on my shoulders. She looked up, her gaze piercing. "No, Julia, I'm not all right. And I haven't been for a long time. That's why I lied." Carol and I exchanged glances, surprised. "I'm not dying. I'm not sick at all. I had to say it to get you both here. I couldn't bear to see you tearing each other apart," she explained, looking between us. Carol crossed her arms. "So, you just wanted us to pretend to be a happy family?" Mom took a deep breath, her gaze moving between us and then to Jason. "I know, Julia, and I know Jamie isn't Jason's," she said gently, acknowledging the truth we'd avoided. "And Jason, I know this isn't easy." Jason nodded but stayed silent. Mom looked at Carol next. "And Carol, I know you've held on to a lot of pain too. It hurts all of us. If we could just see each other. Jamie could be with his father as a friend, without painful explanations. We could be family, even if not how we once planned. For the kids. For Jamie. For Lila." Her words cut deep. I saw that same pain reflected in Carol's eyes. Carol let out a sigh. "Maybe we can figure it out. For them," she said, nodding toward the den. I managed a small, trembling smile. "Yeah. For them. Thank you," Mom whispered, her voice breaking. That's all I wanted. As the evening wore on, the tension finally eased. We didn't have all the answers, but we were ready to try. Mark joined us in the living room. He looked at me, then at Jamie's direction, and nodded. "Maybe it's time I get to know my son." Beside me, Jason squeezed my hand gently, showing he was open to Jamie having another father figure. His silent support filled me with gratitude. Tell us what you think about this story, and share it with your friends. It might inspire them and brighten their day.